Warning, spoilers ahead. Today, I'm going to recap a Korean action movie released in 2021, called Hostage, Missing Celebrity. There was an abduction case that recently happened in Seoul. As the situation turns ugly, how far are the captors willing to do for their money, and their message? Let's find out together. An A-list veteran actor, Hwang Jung-min, who plays himself in this film, has won every major award and captured the nation's heart. Everyone knows and loves him. After attending a press conference for his newly released award-winning box office sensation film, he tells his agent that he will skip the celebration party because he doesn't feel well. His agent jokingly assumes that Hwang wants to go somewhere nice. Well, you know what I mean, while his wife is away from home. He laughs at the joke and scolds him, as he only wants to enjoy freedom alone at his house while his wife is away, then tells his agent to go back to enjoy the celebration party. As Hwang enters his car, his agent reminds him about tomorrow's interview at noon. Someone seems to be following him secretly. A fan? Paparazzi? Hwang stops and parks his car at a minimarket near his house. It seems like he knows the shopkeeper well. He often parks his car there and leaves it to the shopkeeper. He is about to walk home after taking his medicine, but something catches his attention. The shopkeeper is reading recent news about the kidnapping of a cafe owner and his part-time worker. The police have found the mutilated body of the cafe owner, but they haven't found the part-time worker yet. Hwang believes that the police will find her soon. Outside the minimarket, he sees three unknown men playing with his car. They look like a fan at first but quickly become rude to him. After having a pretty heated argument, they leave Hwang alone. As he walks home, he notices that he left his key at the minimarket. But suddenly, a box truck stops right beside him. Two masked men get out and try to kidnap him. He struggles to fight back and fails. Who are they? And what will happen to Hwang? When Hwang regains consciousness, he finds himself strapped to a chair. He sees another Thai girl there. He remembers her as the part-time worker from the abduction news. The kidnappers play with him as it is not often getting a famous megastar as a hostage. It turns out there are 5 kidnappers, including the 3 men who harassed him at the parking lot earlier. Their leader is Choi Ki-won, a psychopathic maniac. Choi shows him the video of when they killed the cafe owner because he couldn't get them the money they asked for. When they are about to kill the girl, Hwang stops them and tells them that he is willing to pay for her too. He offers them $500,000 for them both. Choi becomes furious because he knows that Hwang has more money than that. But Hwang convinced them that the bank has a daily withdrawal limit, and if they wait too long, the other will notice that they are missing. Choi seems to be convinced by Hwang's reasoning and leaves him alone for now. Meanwhile, the police still don't know about Hwang's kidnapping. They managed to catch an accomplice of the first kidnapping. But it turns out that he only sold a truck to the kidnappers. One of the kidnappers, Yong-tae, is a hard fan of Hwang. He is a bit mentally challenged. Suddenly, Yeon Dong-hoon and the other kidnapper enter the room. He asks Hwang about his OTP card to wire the money. Hwang tells them that he left it at his house and tells them to go there. At first, they are angry, but Hwang convinces them to go to his house as no one is at home anyway. The kidnappers don't have any choice, so Choi brings their muscle, Go-yeon Rock, to check Hwang's house while the others stay there. Before they leave, they prepare something, some kind of concoction with nails and wire. Choi tells the other to kill them if he is not back by 10 p.m. tonight. Meanwhile, the police find out the identity of Choi. He was a bit famous back when he served his time at the prison. Back at the hideout, Yong-tae is distracted when the only female team member, Sebyul, is having fun with Dong-hoon in their room. As the room is clear, Hwang and the girl can talk to each other for a bit now. She thanks him for saving her. Hwang notices that there is a piece of broken glass on the floor. He tells her to kick it to him. At first, the girl is scared, but Hwang manages to persuade her. She kicks it too far, so Hwang struggles to pick it up and tips over. After finishing boinking Dong-hoon, Bill goes to the room to check on Hwang. But fortunately, with some acrobatic shit, he manages to get himself back up and get the glass shard. What a close call. Hwang is supposed to have an interview that day. He convinces Dong-hoon to let him call his agent to let him know he can't be there so he will not be suspicious. I don't know if Hwang's acting skill is godlike or the kidnappers are just a bunch of idiots, but he manages to convince them anyway. His agent declines the call because he isn't familiar with the number, so he calls a fellow actor. He slips a cryptic message while talking, but the kidnappers are too dumb to understand. Later, when talking with the mentally challenged Yong-tae, he begs him to buy him medicine as he has a heart problem and is struggling to breathe. Suddenly, Dong-hoon comes. Choi wants to talk to him. Dong-hoon immediately strangles Hwang. It turns out that Choi has already torn apart his house but couldn't find the card. He finds out that Hwang's family is coming back tonight and threatens to harm them if he doesn't tell him where the card is. Out of breath, Hwang tells them that the card may be at the minimarket where he left his key. Hwang's agent suddenly appears at the door, so Choi immediately gets out of there. When his agent comes inside, he sees the house messed up. Sensing something wrong, he immediately calls the police. They see the CCTV footage and confirm that Choi is at the scene. Back at the hideout, Yong-tae rushes to Byul and Dong-hoo, who are having their lovey-dovey time, to notify them about Hwan's condition that just got worse. He is out of breath, drooling from his mouth, and even wetting his own pants. At first, Dong-hoon thinks that he is just acting, but Byul insists on getting the medicine Hwang needed to be safe. Dong-hoon leaves the hideout alone to get it. Meanwhile, Choi is at the minimarket to get Hwan's card and key that he left there. But the shopkeeper doesn't want to give it to him as he doesn't know him. Choi goes outside and calls Dong-hoon to talk to Hwang. But he is on the way to get medicine for Hwang. Choi gets furious and tells him to get back immediately, or he will cut all of his fingers. He is so fed up with his psychotic boss but gets back anyway. Choi goes back to the store, beats up the store owner, and gets Hwang's key. Hwang now seems to be unresponsive, so Yong-tae becomes panicked and unties him. The part-time girl tells him to do CPR on him. As he gets closer, Hwang suddenly slashes Yong-tae and beats him. It turns out that he is only acting to fool them. Nice one, buddy. He frees himself and the part-time girl then goes outside. But the gate is locked. As they try to bust the gate open, Byul appears with a gun. Dong-hoon is coming from afar. When Byul gets distracted, Hwang charges at him. Dong-hoon is still busy opening the locked gate when the part-time girl shoots Byul. Hwang and the part-time girl run the other way into the thick forest. They go separate ways to try to fool their chaser, but the girl gets caught immediately. Hwang falls down a hill and lands hard. Unfortunately for Choi, the police notice him outside the minimarket. They are about to arrest him when Young comes to the rescue and runs the police over with a car. The police immediately call for backup and chase them. Choi and Young crash their car into a hair salon as the police chase them. Young goes on rampage and charges at the police while suddenly Choi throws something at them. It's a freaking bomb. He manages to escape during the chaos. When the police arrest Young, he proudly flexes his work to the media. Now the whole world knows about the missing megastar. The police interrogate him to get more information. But even after playing bad cop good cop, Young still shuts his mouth. He even bit his own tongue to try to kill himself. After Hwang regains consciousness, he walks further outside the forest. He meets with an elderly that lives nearby and tries to borrow his phone. He goes inside his trailer, but suddenly the elderly lock him inside the trailer. It turns out that he is a delusional old man who thinks that someone is trying to kill him. The old man calls the police to report it, but they are busy with the missing megastar, so they ignore him. Oops, so close but yet so far. Not long after that, Dong-hoon finds him and brings him back to the hideout. The situation has become dire for the kidnappers as the whole nation is looking for them now. When Dong-hoon treats Byul, Choi calls him to tell him that Hwang has played with them from the start. He even gave them the wrong PIN code. Dong-hoon tells Choi that Byul needs to go to the hospital immediately, but Choi doesn't care about it. He tells Dong-hoon to put Hwang on, but Dong-hoon has enough of him. Choi keeps changing the deal and even hasn't given them the cut from the cafe owner's money. So Dong-hoon is off the deal and threatens to kill them all if he doesn't get the money soon. Choi then calls Yong-tae, who is in a panic because of the situation. He gives the phone to Hwang. Instead of answering Choi properly, Hwang puts on another act and pretends as if Chori is about to turn himself into the police and rat the rest member out. It makes Dong-hoon and Yongtae agitated and turn against each other. Unexpectedly, Choi turns himself into the police for real. The police immediately interrogate him as he tries to strike a deal with the police to lower his sentence. After a hard bargain, the police don't have any other choice and agree to his offer. Choi then takes the police to their hideout. Just when they are about to depart, the delusional old man appears. One of the detectives notices that he is wearing Hwang's shoes, so she stays with him while the other follows Choi. The situation has calmed down at the hideout when they suddenly hear Dong-hoon cries. Byul has passed away, he couldn't treat the gunshot wound properly. Dong-hoon lashes his anger at Yongtae, then goes to Hwang to finish him. When he is about to pull the trigger, Yongtae suddenly appears and beats Dong-hoon. He then set Hwang and the part-time girl free. But it will not end that smoothly. Dong-hoon suddenly shoots him from the back. The gunshot hit the power box, so Hwang and the girl are able to hide in the dark. Meanwhile, the police have arrived at the hideout. When they enter the place, it turns out that Choi leads them to a trap. The building is full of explosives, and it explodes when one of them triggers it. Choi manages to escape in the midst of chaos. But fortunately, the detective that leaves behind gets the correct address from the delusional old man. They arrive at the right time when Dong-hoon manages to find Hwang in the dark. They have a little standoff but have to let Dong-hoon and Hwang go. As Hwang and Dong-hoon leave in a car, Choi comes and holds them. He manages to kill Dong-hoon, but Hwang manages to hit him before he shoots again. Hwang then goes outside and helps the police fight Choi. After some epic fight scenes, he manages to beat the villain, just like in his movies. And just like that, it's finally over. Fast forward 2 years later, they make a film out of the accident. Due to PTSD, Hwang has retired since the accident. The movies end with Hwang taking a picture with the actor who plays the character who kidnapped him. Hwang's godly acting skill and 500 IQ trick saved him and the part-time girl from a bad ending. What do you think about the movie? Let us know what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Thank you for watching, and as always, see you next time.